Welcome to a demonstration of RxNT's cloud-based EMR solution. Being cloud-based gives you the flexibility to use our solution on any existing computer, laptop, even a tablet. Everyone within the organization will be given their own unique login and password. RxNT is accessible by coming to the website and clicking Customer Login. Upon logging in, you're presented with a product dashboard. Depending on your role within the organization, you can define rights as to what you can and cannot use. For example, if I'm a receptionist or clerical front desk, I probably wouldn't have access to the e-prescribing solution, whereas a physician or a provider, they might have access to all of the above. With today's demo, we're going to spend just a few moments highlighting the scheduler. We're then going to get into the EMR. So we'll go ahead and launch both the scheduler and the EMR solution. Now, with RxNT, you can operate in multiple products simultaneously. The thought process is, if you're in the middle of something, you don't have to stop what you're doing to navigate elsewhere. Instead, you can just flip between the two products. What you're looking at is the day view of our scheduler. An alternative view that's quite popular is the resources view. Now, the scheduler is fully customizable. Down the left-hand side, you can set up your own person resources, material resources, and then your appointment templates. Name them, color code them, and set the duration. A few features to highlight before we check a patient in. In the top right, there's 3 menu items: eligibility, sync, and ICS. We offer real-time insurance eligibility checking. If I click this, it's going to confirm eligibility on everyone we're expected to see today. I want to mention when we check a patient in, I can view eligibility on that one specific patient. The Google symbol, this is allowing you to sync your scheduler with your Android device or if you have Gmail. For all things Apple, we have ICS that'll sync with your iPhone, your Mac. That's also compatible with Outlook. The last 2 things to highlight is going to be the patient reminders and reporting. We offer patient reminders in 3 formats: SMS text message, email, and pre-recorded phone calls. From here, you're able to actually set up your own schedules for them to run. Perhaps you want an appointment reminder to go out 7 days before the appointment. You can do so. You can also define what sort of reminders should be sent to patients. Reporting, series of different reports, appointment reports, payment reports, patient ledger if you want to check balances, what you've recently billed, patient reminder report, and then a prior auth report. Appointment reports, what I'm going to click into. This is great for tracking missed appointments, cancellations. So I can put in my search values, and I might put in no-show or missed, and I can pull them over and run a report. Go ahead and just put in a date range, and it'll list my criteria and my data below. Let's go ahead and now check a patient in. So we'll go back to the appointments. We have 3 appointments on today's schedule, and we're going to go ahead and check in a new patient consult. When you check in a patient, it's going to provide first any alerts. These pop-up alerts can be triggered throughout the scheduler and the billing solution. Gives appointment details. You can update the demographics. You can update the insurance information. I mentioned you can run eligibility on that specific patient. You can do so from here. In addition to just checking eligibility, you can search a specific CPT code and check it against the patient's insurance. Importantly, you can capture payments. So if there is a static copay, they owe $15 every time they're seen, that'll display in the copay tab. If there's a self-pay fee, that will display as well. And then there's a patient balance. So we will keep track of what's owed, and maybe they forgot to pay the last time we saw them. The last field here is patient funds. That would be, let's say, excess money that could be applied to the next visit. Perhaps concierge is a good example. We charge $1,000 and we're going to deduct incremental amounts for each visit. Before I put in today's payment amount, I can check the payment history as well for more details. And I'll just say that we collected $15 today. We can then go ahead and just check the patient in. Upon checking the patient in, that does reflect on the scheduler. You'll see CKC versus PND, which is simply pending. When the patient is checked in, that then places them in the EMR system, specifically in what we call the patient queue. So when I flip over to the EMR solution, the patient queue is my home screen. This lists all the patients to be seen today. Now, this updates in real time. So whether I'm an MA, I'm a therapist, physician, it's going to update the appointment check-in time. So as you can see, we just checked in Rita Henderson. That's now displaying 2:54 p.m. Now, you could further utilize this by having a call time, maybe someone performs an intake, and what room that they were put in. I'm just going to keep it simple. Perhaps the physician now checks them in and goes right into the patient's chart. What you're now viewing is the full-blown EMR solution for our demo patient, Rita Henderson. In the top left, you have the basic information, picture, demographics. Down the left-hand side is the navigation pane. Now, the navigation pane is fully customizable depending on that user. Physician A might have a different take than physician B. Same with the staff. So if I click on the little wheel, I can hide tabs that just aren't pertinent to me. Now, from a staff member's point of view, you can also help drive a specific workflow. Perhaps a therapist, their only objective is to check meds and problems. Then for that user, I would hide and block all other tabs. You can also rearrange them in an order that makes sense for you. All right, as a physician, we're just going to go ahead and jump right into an encounter. Encounters are progress notes, and this is going to list all the previous visits for this patient. They're listed by encounter date. It's going to show what physician or provider saw them. We can pull up and view old encounters, and we can view multiple encounters. So we're looking at 10-12 and 10-2. Simultaneously, we can go ahead and start a brand new note as well. So I can pull information from these previous notes into today's new note if I wanted to. In addition, what I can do is I can replicate, I call it cloning, but we can pull the last note forward. Over here, there's a copy function. That's going to pull in all the information into today's note. You can simply backspace anything not relevant for today. RxNT offers a template library of over 100 different templates. They all come with the system free of charge. You're welcome to use them. In addition, we offer custom templates. So if you guys have your own templates, we can replicate them. Perhaps you want to just build something with us from scratch. I am going to show you briefly 2 templates, and I'll show you the letter that you can build from RxNT. Let's start with this initial eval. So the initial eval, this is broken up into tabs, and we're going to go through them together before it takes the data, structures it, and turns it into the final preview and save. So you can document history, meds, and your referral reason, behavioral observations. This template's checkbox oriented for efficiency. It's great for a laptop or a tablet. Symptoms, same thing. I can go through and check off appropriate findings. Go through personality. Suicide. And I can add impressions as well. I can paste in anything from the web, from my local computer. Diagnoses and progress, so behavioral goals, recommendations. The two most important functions in an EMR is to document the diagnoses and the billing codes, because those are going to seamlessly transmit over to the billing solution. You can add diagnoses here. Notice that previous diagnoses will pull in. And then you can add your CPT codes. You can create your own quick pick list for efficiency as well. It's going to take all the data that we've entered in the note and turn it into this final preview and save. I'm going to slowly scroll through. Starts with the eval of meds. Diagnoses and coding. When I'm finished, we would go ahead and sign and save it. I can also enter checkout instructions. Those checkout instructions can be sent back up to the front. When I'm finished with my note, it'll show up on top. The last step is to click the little release button. This is going to send it over to the billing and it queues it up. The benefit for you is you're not having to complete a super bill. You or your staff, you're not having to fax that over to your biller anymore. This is now an automated process. Now, in sending this over electronically, where can I find encounters that I forgot to release? Or another question, where can I find encounters I forget to sign? By the way, you can send over encounters for billing that have yet to be signed. But if I forget to sign them from the dashboard, I can pull up those encounters and it's going to list them out for me. So it's going to show me not only unsigned encounters that I can go back and attend to, but also encounters that have not been released to billing. All right, great. Let's get back into that same patient, Rita Henderson. I want to show you just one other brief template and the letter. So we're going to get back and open a new encounter. This time I'm going to show the 34, 36. We'll do initial eval. Each template that RxNT offers is very unique from one another. Some are checkbox and tabs, while others are more fill in the blanks. They're great for drag and dictation. And of course, we offer everything in between. This one's a combination of what I just went through. So chief complaint, HPI can be added, and then you'll see a combination of checkboxes. This is a very detailed note. Signs of hyperactivity, any eating disorders, manic, psychotic signs. Now these boxes are for additional information. You might want to list out past meds, any history of seizures. Now the current and active meds, those pull over from the navigation pane. Same with allergies. Again, continues to be very detailed. Vitals and charting. Same as the last note, the diagnoses will pull in as well. We can always add new diagnoses. Adding diagnoses can be a very friendly search. You can search by ICD-10, ICD-9, or even a descriptive term itself. So I could put in the first few characters for anxiety, and it will return all associated ICD-10s. Just go ahead and exit out of that. And same with the other note, when I'm finished, we turn into the final preview and save, and it'll be listed under the encounter history. The last thing I want to share with you is letters. I'm sure you have your own forms for letters. You can simply paste them in, save them as a template, and use them going forward. Myself, I do have one saved that I want to show you. And we're going to load in sample letter for psychiatric evaluation. So it is already pre-filled, and all I need to do now is just paste in the patient's name. And I can add a subject, and it converts it again to the final preview and save with the appropriate heading, and it starts my note, my letter, Rita Henderson recently consulted me for an evaluation. All right, just the last few things I want to highlight in the EMR. E-prescribing in the medications tab. RxNT offers a full-blown e-prescribing solution. You can e-prescribe controlled substances. We even offer our own app, so you can e-prescribe from your iPhone or iPad as well as an Android device. I'm going to actually show you the app in a moment. We're going to pull in the patient's PBM and formulary. This serves two purposes. One, when we go to e-prescribe, we're always going to let you know if the medication will or will not be covered on the patient's insurance. That's helpful, so you're not getting a call back from the pharmacy. Also, we're providing you with this medication history. Because we're part of SureScripts, and they're the hub that connects you with all the pharmacies you want to e-prescribe to, we're pulling in a list of every single prescription that's been prescribed to this patient within the past 2 years from any physician. So perhaps our patient just moved from Pennsylvania. I get to see a list of previously written meds from, it looks like a Dr. John Smith. Now, this is great for transparency purposes. Also, most organizations, the physician staff spend 5 to 10 minutes with each patient trying to develop a med list. You don't have to. We're giving you a comprehensive list. All you have to do is reconcile it. Simply go over the meds. Hey, Rita Henderson, are you still taking any of these? With one click, add to current meds, we now have an up-to-date list. We will check for interactions when you prescribe. We check for drug to drug, drug to allergy, and drug to diagnoses. As I mentioned, we do have our own app. So you can e-prescribe from the cloud-based solution, or you can e-prescribe from your mobile device. It also includes getting refills on your mobile device as well. Just give me a second. Go ahead and load the app. So it looks like my iPhone is now appearing. Native app, RxNT. Go ahead and log in. When you first log in, you're presented with this home screen. At the top, patient last name search. I can immediately begin e-prescribing for a certain patient. Before I go through that, notice the menu at the bottom. Refills. It's as simple as tapping your finger on the circle and hitting approve. You can also void out refill requests. Pending. You can let your staff e-prescribe non-controlleds, but for controlleds, they can prepare them. They can queue them up to your pending queue. So as a provider, they were prepared by my staff, same concept, check and approve. And then you can e-prescribe by going into a patient itself. Or refill an older medication, let you review the med, choose the pharmacy, and send the prescription. All right, back to the web-based solution. We offer lab capability, so all of your labs can come directly into RxNT's EMR. No need to receive faxes, no need to log into a remote website. So we will connect with your lab companies. They'll save to the patient's profile here. You can also order labs. In addition, patient documents. You can upload any files right from your laptop or computer. Upload them right into the patient's profile. We preserve the file format. So if I upload a Word doc, I drive home, load up my laptop, I can pull that exact document off. So think of it as cloud storage. And I can title it to my liking and then add it to our categories. You can generate e-referrals to other physicians and send them elsewhere. And we offer a patient portal. You would generate a PIN number for each patient, allowing them to go to this remote website, enter their PIN code. From the portal, they can view their med list, their allergies, they can view their labs, they can make payment to your practice. We're partnered with PayPal. And then finally, there's a feature where the patient can message you, you can message the patient. That is optional and can be turned on or off. And then the last two items to mention in the EMR is messaging and tasks. In the system, you can message each other. So message your fellow colleagues, your staff members, and then of course, tasking, task others, they can task you. Set the priority to low, medium, or high, and then track the status, whether it's been completed or finished. On behalf of RxNT, I want to thank you guys for your time, and hopefully you enjoyed the demo. Learn more at rxnt.com or give us a call at 1-800-943-7968, option 3. Thanks so much.